Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
Do you know what my fucking problem is?
What is your fucking problem?
My problem is this, okay? I like bad bitches. That's my fucking problem.
That's a fucking
right?
problem.
And I'm surrounded.
I feel like that's kind of a good problem.
I'm surrounded. Look at this lineup right here.
I like bad.
I don't think people understand the lineup we have right now.
I don't
Because
think
if you're
so.
not from Virginia Beach or in the area and you're listening abroad, right? You don't understand the powerhouses we have sitting here. So why don't you introduce yourselves? Because that belongs to you. Go for it.
I'm Megan Oliverius.
And you rock what? You rock the
Where are you
bars
rocking at?
Right now, I'm currently at Granby Theater, so I kind of transitioned into the professional world a little bit.
So, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Topic for discussion.
Yeah, I'm
Granby
running
Theaters.
a solar company now, so.
Okay, right on. So you're switching. Okay, good. That's good news.
Also, still doing the adult thing recently. Did get my real estate
I think you have to
license.
clarify that, what the adult thing is.
I mean, that is done too,
Yeah.
so I don't really have to clarify much of that. But no, I got my real estate license, but I am still bartending on the side. Currently over at Rustic Spoon in Red Mill,
Okay.
doing the brunch thing, you know, getting out of the nighttime.
So the demographics have changed here.
Yeah,
so
it's still deep down inside, you know, the mayhem.
So when you're doing brunch, right? So we're going to talk about this. Going from the nightlife. Now, this is how I know you.
Okay, yeah, let's start.
This is how I know you.
Origin story.
Riding up on my motorcycle, middle of summer, pulling to a bar, line outside, people going crazy. It's that type of vibe. And here are these two.
Okay.
Just fucking maestroing these dudes. Like a marionette, like dun, dun, dance puppets, dance, right? And so those days were amazing. So I would come in there and I would just be like watching the dudes. And of course, I'm older now at this point, right? So at one point in my life, I was that guy. I was the victim of this madness. And
Poor
what
victim.
you call it before? When you came in, you called it something.
Oh God,
Buffoonery or something.
Debauchery, mayhem, all of the
Yeah, all
above.
of it.
Yeah.
So how many hearts would you say you broke in a matter of a month? On your hardest night. I'm talking about back in the day. When was your highlight of your time?
Hearts or egos?
Ooh, the Eagles is hers. The Eagles
Yeah,
is
you can
hers
break
all
it.
day.
All right, let's start with the egos.
Crushing
So
them.
that's kind of my thing.
That was my favorite. I would just sit back and watch. I would just let it happen.
So wait a minute. Now tell me about this. So that's right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Hearts or egos?
You can
I
crush
never
both.
let them
Classic.
think they had a chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It always worked out for me because I would work with another girl bartender that was like kind of the flirty one, you know what I mean? Sweet.
Oh,
and
no,
they
but
thought
you
they could
weren't,
get
though.
the-
Oh, so you were a
No,
bad
me, I'd
cop.
be like, you want a straw for your beer? Like, you need a nipple? I'm confused. And they love that shit. They eat it up, you know? So
So the egos would go down first, and then that's when the heartache came because once you broke down their structure of ego, now they have something for you. Now they think you like them, right? They have a little sentimental
That's
spot.
that weird thing with men. Like, you just are viciously rude and mean to them, and they're like, oh my God, she
eat it
loves me.
up. It's
They like the
crazy.
shoes.
She loves me.
And I'm going to let her know my love by giving her more of my money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it works?
Yeah.
It's the only way I understand it.
So when was the height of your time? Like when it was, I'm talking about the height of now you're moving out, you went to the Granby Theater, which is a little bit, you tell me more about that in a minute, but when was the height of your just debauchery? When were you in your mix?
Definitely the venue days.
Which was 2000.
I don't even know. God.
You were at venue. I
I
was
was at
still at
venue
the
for like
block.
5 years. But
Yeah, you were there a
it
while.
was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No,
Well, how many
What
years
was it
have you each
now?
been bartending?
How old am I?
On my 21st birthday,
Yeah.
they threw me behind the bar at midnight.
12
and I was
years?
12.
years.
Okay.
And that was it. You were hooked. So 21, get back there. No, you can't come out. You're stuck. Same with you. So how'd you get up behind the bar?
So I was a Hooters girl forever. I worked.
Where at?
I worked at General Booth for 8 years, and then I was a manager at Military Highway for 4. So
You know what? You know what's a good discussion when someone says I was a Hooters girl and the other background. Oh, where at? I was there.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. I'm
Although I
surrounded.
was
I
way
love it.
before you. So this is like, I was 2000, 2001, 2002.
I started at General Booth in 2011.
Yeah. That was a little bit after I
So-
had my glory days.
Right. A little bit after, but yeah, I mean, even back then it was still rocking. right?
Oh, Hooters
yeah.
then back in the early
Amazing.
2000s, you were pulling $300 to $500 a day.
No
Easy.
questions asked.
Yeah,
So
easy.
the job at Hooters. Let's talk about that. Since you're bartenders now, you started there.
excited.
It's got a relevance. I mean,
I love that company,
Yeah.
everything about it.
so you're not the only person that tells me that.
Yeah.
She says it, and there's a lot of women that talk to me about Hooters and how good it was to work there. And
it's
you would
great.
think the main frame of people out there, the mainstream people, would think the total opposite, right? You would think,
Yeah.
it's bullshit. You're selling yourself, da 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 da.
Not at all.
But it's not like that, is it?
It's not. I learned more about marketing because again, I did the calendar
Yep.
2 years, then I did the swimsuit competition in Vegas, and so I got to travel with the marketing team. And since I was the only person or girl traveling with them, I got to learn all their knowledge, pick their brain. How are we doing this? What are we doing with the magazines? How are you using this to leverage for business? Like, and this was again, I was in my early 20s then. I mean, it was early 20s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was great. It was the best learning experience I had in marketing and also customer service.
Oh, yeah.
Because we learned more about customer service in that because you had to distract and entertain at the
Yep.
same time. And it was a beautiful balance, which I think led me into bartending the day I turned 21. And I think that was a really good training ground.
I'm going to be honest. It literally taught me hospitality, customer service, thick skin.
yeah.
Honestly, it is a little bit difficult at times, being 19, 20, 21. And you are judged. And it's not by the company itself, it's by the people that come in. There is a certain stigma that goes around with it. And at the time,
But how they? What I always wonder is how they judge you when they're the ones who walk through the fucking door.
it's
That's
crazy.
what I don't understand.
It's
I can't
it's
believe your
crazy.
hair working like this. I mean, the wings are really good.
Well,
but-
not even that. Like, I want that waitress because she has bigger tits,
Yep.
or I want that waitress
Very much.
because, like, they would be selective, almost like you're at a candy store.
So
and
there's
you're
some women
shopping.
in there that are like getting butthurt over this because
Yeah.
they're just not. They just don't have.
Ego,
They're not in the
too.
selection.
Ego
Like a strip
again.
club type thing.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, it is very much, pick and choose what you want. And at the time, I just shaved my head. I was just starting to get tattoos. That was not a
That was
thing.
not normal then.
No, you were. Yeah, you were
That
like
was
pink.
not-
You're the outlier.
Ooh, I got in so much trouble. But it was a good way for me to, start feeling myself and who I am. But, they rode along with me. They were like, look,
Yeah.
we get it, but can you stop shaving your head to the scalp? That'd be cool. I was
So,
like,
And back then they could say that. Like,
yeah,
they could tell you
they very
you
much
gained
did.
too much weight
All the time.
You need to lose weight.
be
Like, that's
we
not
hired
allowed.
you, their little photo picture.
Yeah.
We hired you like this. You need to be like this in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing. So now today, let's back this shit up to today. If you were to tell someone, they can't be getting away with that now, can they? They can't still be doing that because it's not politically correct, so on and so forth.
Change the classification to like model instead
Entertainer.
of entertainment so
Yeah.
that they can control
Yeah.
you because in news contracts they can control
Yep.
our haircuts and everything. They could control that.
'Cause
So
you sign
they
a
change what
contract.
your title is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so they just
You're
changed.
not a
You're no
server.
longer a
Yeah.
waitress, bartender, or whatever you are.
Yep.
You are a exotic.
There's always a loophole.
Yep.
You're an entertainer.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Well, see, now they allow you to have short hair. They allow you to have tattoos.
Yeah.
They're not quite as strict. The piercings, even you weren't allowed to have more
They
than
would go
just
away if they didn't.
Flip.
one
None of- yeah.
stud earring in. You
Yep.
could only wear
It was really
one
strict.
ring. You couldn't wear anything like that.
Yeah.
Now they don't.
So they wanted to be like Sports Illustrated swimsuits.
Well, I mean, it was
Back in the day.
essentially when we were
Very
there.
much,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, everybody showed up. Everybody,
Everybody was 10 out of 10 when they showed
Yeah.
up. There was no, I don't feel like doing my makeup today.
So versus where you started, Megan. So when you started, it was the opposite. It's like, bitch, you're gonna get some tattoos or what?
You were the one
I
without.
already had them.
What are we doing about this?
Yeah, 100%. They were lucky if I brushed my hair before I did. I'm still didn't. I didn't even today. Sorry,
You
guys.
come out the
but
party,
It's washed.
into the bar, back to the party.
100%.
Just like most of us in the kitchen. So in the relationship between the front of the house and the back of the house, it kind of is the same, especially back in them days. Because I was before I had all the responsibilities I do now as a chef and an owner, I was just a chef at one point too. And before that, I was a sous chef and all the way up. And the further back I went, the higher up the elevator of nonsense I would commit.
Yeah.
The felonies, if I were to get caught. I would get, just a night shift, I could catch a damn case.
Yeah.
Just at work. Just shit we used to do. And I'm sure my guys still do it now. You know what? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what did you, when it comes to that type of stuff. I want to hear some dirt. We need some dirt
We need
because
good stories.
our listeners want to hear it. But you know what? We talk about the professional end all the time, and that's a fun story for people who are trying to open a bar or become a bartender.
We like to mix in
Fuck all
the
that, man. I want to hear
real
some
part.
nonsense because I got my hat off. I'm blowing up. Let's go.
Oh,
Who wants to start?
I
Give
think
me a
one
good
of my
story.
favorite like villain stories.
Okay.
Who's the villain? You?
It was a group of us. It was a group of us.
Mean
Oh,
Girls.
okay.
Like it.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't all girls. It was just a whole bunch of group of when we were at the block.
Okay.
We created Bible study on Sundays. You know, everybody goes to church on Sundays. We went to our church on Sundays.
Okay.
Our church was Seaside.
Okay.
it was our basement.
It was,
Seaside Raw Bar.
yes.
All right, so for those listening, Seaside Raw Bar is a small place on Virginia Beach, right on Atlantic Avenue. It's a hot spot. It's tiny.
It's what
and
you
there-
would call a dive bar.
It's a dive bar to the degree of like fathoms. That's how far you got to dive.
Like back in the day when
it's
they
great.
still had the milkshake glasses hanging from the ceiling and all that. We
And we
would
love the dive. We love it, by the way.
They love it. I was supposed to go last night and I fell asleep. So.
Times have changed. Times have changed.
So one of our best friends used to open up on Sundays, 11 a.m. He'd be there. And we would have bar clean from 9 to 10, 10:30-ish. Immediately walk over to Seaside,
be
and
there
we're
during
playing
bar
shot roulette. Mind you, I worked Sunday nights.
Oh.
I worked
Pre-game.
I worked at the Edge at 9 p.m.
Yeah, that was some of the best nights to go. Those nights. Back.
Oh yeah, that's the best time.
It was, I would literally show up. We'd be, 8 hours of drinking in. Shot roulette, did a whole world tour of every
Without a
bar we
Adderall.
could get to.
like that's
all day.
literally how.
Everything that you could think of to stay awake that long and continue to drink. And I would show up. This is back before they had hookah at all the bars.
Yeah.
Only Chemistry had hookah. Sandbar had a kitchen, and that was the only places you can get food and a hookah. I'd go steal a hookah from Chemistry, get steak bites at Sandbar, go lay on top of the bar at the Edge, eat my steak bites, smoke my hookah.
Smash an Adderall and go to work.
Yeah, no, this was at work. I was physically working at this point.
Oh, you're working and late. Okay.
Yeah,
I
was laying on the bar then.
I've been on that bar before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, it's Matterall. I call it Matterall because once I get to that little level, that stuff puts me in a place that nobody
Yeah.
wants to be around.
listen.
And if it's the end of the shift and I'm irritated and shit, which I've stopped doing many years ago because of all this,
Yeah.
it's fun while you're doing it, man. But that Matterall, it doesn't do me well. Boy, I have a
I was not really an Adderall. I was more of a MDMA.
Yeah, why not? At work, sure.
ecstasy,
At
like-
work.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Super
It's the only
casual.
way to get through.
Super low key.
Some people get hungry, they have a
chill.
snack.
I just, pop a Molly.
Some people carry, I know some of my cooks right now, they come in, they got little granola bars and stuff to get them through the night.
yeah, same.
You're different.
It's the same.
It's the same. It's
It's
totally the same.
exactly
Yeah,
the
just
same.
minus the nutrients.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah, macros. It's cool.
And I would be
actually, it's
super-
no calories. So you're actually saving calories.
I had to wear only lingerie. Like I had to look good.
Yeah.
I already ate steak bites. That was my food for the day.
Protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then we just, absolute mayhem. But we did that every single Sunday.
Wow.
No matter if it was 30 degrees outside, if it was 100 degrees outside, dancing on the bar. You remember when Cat used to come out too?
Oh my god.
It used to be a whole mayhem of just hot bitches, just absolutely drunk.
I'd be
as
on the
hell.
ground watching the person.
Yeah,
but
she-
I'd be lifting them up.
No,
and,
she
like,
normally would be sitting in the
spanking them.
corner at one
Be
of the
like-
tables. Because don't get me wrong, it's a bad bitch, but she is so calm, cool, and collected.
So you're like the madam.
You're the calm
Yeah.
one.
You're the
Yeah,
madam of this
100%.
She very
situation.
much is the puppeteer again. Yes.
Well,
very much.
metaphorically, that's what we're talking about.
Metaphorically, yeah.
Metaphorically, you're the madam of
And
this man.
she's just playing. She's like, yeah, get on the bar. Dance on the bar.
Get up there,
You
bitch.
won't.
Killing it.
You were instigating too.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
The whole day.
Stirring the
That's
pot.
funny.
So you got the cauldron and you're just like, dance, let's go with
Oh
it.
my God.
So, but you're having a great time, and that's all that fucking matters. And then you go tonight but you know what though? Here's the thing: people don't understand anymore. People are going out to get that vibe, and that vibe is not going to be created anywhere else but in the fucking place. And that's been removed from the
a lot
bar
of
scene.
places,
Yeah.
And it's not
Sadly.
allowed anymore. Or even if it's not allowed, I just don't think of the new generation, and no disrespect to them, but it's obvious sometimes that they don't get it. And they don't understand that people are going to a place to be part of something. And if you guys are acting that way, it may be madness to other people, but it's not. It's normal to us.
Yeah, it's super.
And we're so programmed in living that way that
Yeah.
we work so much and we're so used to being on this side of the entertainment scene, the bar or the kitchen or whatever it may be, that when we're out acting a fool, we can only do it either on our way to work or on our way home from work.
100%.
And when we are at work, all you can do is have fun,
Work hard, play hard.
or else you're boring.
Yeah.
Who's going to tip you if you're boring? Who's going to, if you're not partying and
It is
feeling good?
entertainment.
If you're,
I had this exact conversation with somebody. I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were standing at a bar, and I was like, the bartenders these days, don't get me wrong, they're good bartenders. They're just not the same. When we're behind the bar, we're entertaining you.
100%.
And also serving 500 people. Like, we are fun, we're goofing off, we're throwing things at each other, we're dancing, I'm climbing on the bar, I'm jumping over the bar, she's trying to fight somebody on the other side of the bar. Like, there's always
fun.
something.
right. And in one way or another, you're engaging
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
with
and
each other, with something.
Yes.
There's action.
There was, when I told you, I was helping a restaurant open recently here in the area, and they had some bartenders who were not experienced. And they had one that was only 2 weeks into bartending at a grand opening, and one who said she was okay, and they were not keeping up. So I forewent all my other responsibilities in the marketing and went behind the bar, and I just started working. And I had several people that night, like separate from each other, say, I am so glad you're working like you have rent to pay. And that was
That's
like
exactly-
the biggest
that's a good way to
compliment I
put
could
it.
get,
Yeah.
because I wasn't really doing that. I mean, but I was laughing. I was,
what you're programmed to
how are
do.
you doing? I was
Yeah.
touching that. Like, it was just a whole interactive thing. I was trying to get them to talk to each other, what
Yep.
we're supposed to do.
Yep.
And that art of it seems to have been lost in a lot of places. And that's what's sad. I mean, I think it's
I
sad.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it's a passion that we have. So this is a funny scenario. You both said the same thing, and with Kristen as well, and even myself. I think out of all of us here, I'm doomed with the long-term commitment. There's no way out for me, right? So you're doing your real estate thing, you're doing a solar thing, you're doing your own things, but that's not because you don't have a passion anymore. That's because age in the chapter of the life
Yes.
is where we are, right?
Very much.
So when you do go back and get behind there,
You're
you have
excited.
something inside of you that comes back. And though most people would be like, oh, they're just bartenders talking shit. What do they know? They don't do nothing. The passion and the loyalty and commitment to what we've done for so long surpasses any of their bullshit judgment. I'm talking to you, whoever's judging. I'm talking to you. They have no idea what this industry means to us. They don't get it. And some of us have to get out of it because of we're just simply getting older. Times are changing. We're getting married. Our spouse may not like this anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe we can't wake the fuck up anymore like that. We can't stay up anymore until we're not interested anymore in staying up until 4 a.m.
5 a.m.
It's
and
not
then
as fun as going
back at
home.
9.
Right again in the
My
morning.
social-
Yeah.
We worked all
Yeah.
these years to be able to, at one point in time, buy a house or get a nice condo and get these nice blankets and now we want to get in them motherfuckers, right?
Blankets.
The blanket.
I'm with the blankets, dude.
You're a blanket hoe.
I am
You're
a
such a
blanket.
blanket hoe.
Listen,
Like,
I'm blanketed.
all these
Just all I'm worried about is buying good blankets. That's all.
So when you tell us something, tell me, let me hear something really good. You talked about the ego before, and that's always classic to me because I have an eye for this. When I go out and about now, I'm older and stuff. I'm not looking for. Definitely ain't going to the bar looking for women and picking up chicks or anything like that. Especially out of all the years. Okay, out of all the years, I'm not looking for the ones that work there. I understand the game
so funny.
to the fullest.
You're not.
And
You're
when
not falling for it.
When
anymore.
it's no different than when I see young guys going to a strip club thinking that they like them. So I think she likes me. She does. You're right.
Oh, yeah,
Go-
she loves
Go get
you.
her.
Keep throwing
Tiger.
more money.
Yep. Keep
She's
giving
gonna
her
like
money.
you more.
She'll
So-
like you more. Trust me.
I like going to the bars now, and this is what I liked about you, because I used to watch you and I'm like, look at this girl just digging her talons into this prey. I love it. You know what I mean? And it's fun. It's entertaining, but because you're doing it, you're entertaining me. You're entertaining that sap.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're entertaining his friends because they're either laughing at him or they're thinking he has a chance. You're doing your job. And you're loving it.
Yeah.
And that's what the hell you do. And in the meantime, really what you're doing is you're paying your rent, like she said. And that comes down to it. So what was some of your tactics? Talk to about, firstly, did you ever feel bad for guys that you can see them really thinking they had a chance?
Always
And you're like,
like,
damn, I got to
no.
slow down on this
Would
poor dude.
never.
Or did you just let him eat?
My thing is, I never let them think they had a chance. You know what I mean? If they thought they had a chance, it was their own fault.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They
So
literally made that up.
So yeah, no, I didn't feel bad. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes when they would give me these gnarly tips, I'd be like, whoa, like
a lot. What's a gnarly tip?
I got a 10 grand tip at a happy hour. You can ask John Lindsay about it.
That's
10 grand.
Wait,
That's
that
pretty
was
good.
a real happy
Yeah,
hour.
and that was
I mean,
that was
that
was a
that
very
was a
happy
regular
hour.
bar. That wasn't
Yeah,
like a
he
strip
tried to
club.
do more too. I
like-
was like, yo, like
So wait a minute. I just had my brain just skipped a minute. You're telling me you're at a happy hour.
working happy hour.
You're working happy hour.
early in the day, so it's not like end of the night kind of
Yeah,
shit.
Nope.
but
You
but
just
they got
gotta-
me like
yeah.
full force because it's like not one-on-one because my happy hours were busy, but you know,
More
it was just me
attention.
working. Yeah,
Yeah.
John had just came in for the later. I was working straight through. I'd open and then work the whole night. John came in. It was like a Wednesday too, and he was helping like kind of prep for the night shift, and that's when the guy closes out, and he tried to give more, and I was like, listen, I don't even know if
Oh,
the card
shit.
company is gonna like. I'm already gonna have to make phone calls. Like,
So what
this
was
is
his
too
goal?
much.
Did he think that
I
this
don't
was
know.
going to be the key? The gate was going to open,
he
or what?
couldn't have because I was like, people don't give that out without expecting something. in
Yeah.
return. And that's
There was
enough for
nothing
me, dog.
after,
Yeah,
no follow up, just
oh
gave
no,
you the money.
He would come in all the time.
He just came in, but he wasn't
Absolutely.
like inappropriate, like crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
he definitely would try, but
yeah, but you shut him
I
down.
just-
I gave you 10
Sleep
grand. Just let me see the
delay,
nip.
so
Yeah.
Just let me
Just
see the
half
nip,
an
girl.
hour, just half an
Let me
hour.
see
so
the
good
nip.
to watch.
It's so
I'm telling you.
she thoroughly enjoys it.
I love it when
like,
Megan's
"This
in
is
full
great."
force. Because she'll give me like a heads up when we're working together. She's like, "This guy over here is an idiot," and I'm like, "Oh yes." I was like, "Go take him his next drink, like over, like walk out from behind the bar, go give it to him." And you just watch her walk over, and this guy's literally drooling by the time she gets to the table.
The drink's all
Yeah,
shaking
and she's
shit.
just like, "I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, but I'm not the one." And I'm like, "What did he even say?" I don't know. He
Nothing.
said I was
no
hot.
amount of money is worth it. I'm out.
It's
so we'd be
awesome.
like, yo, get
And
the
he
money.
still
It's
was.
awesome.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't have the
Oh my
patience.
god.
So you don't
No,
play.
I don't
So
even
that 10,
want that money.
did you take the 10 grand tip?
You already know.
Oh, well, yeah.
I took. So I tried to split it with John because he came in. He was stuff. I think
Oh,
we
John
split
doesn't
it
deserve that.
7-3. So I gave him 3.
We love you, John, but no.
Yeah. No, I mean, I learned so much from him. So it was just, and I knew he was going to have to go through hell with the company and stuff like that, American Express.
Well, yeah, anything over
they
nine
literally
nine nine.
wanna-
Yeah, I
yep.
mean, you're gonna
Yeah,
have
I mean,
issues.
it was one
but
Jack and Coke. So
yeah, that's
that's
crazy.
what- yeah.
So that's good. So hopefully you did something really good or really bad with the money. Either way. Or nicely bad or something.
Yeah, it went toward a really bad decision.
Oh,
it
Oh,
definitely
nice.
did.
I love
Hope-
that.
Buy a Maserati, especially a brand new
my
one.
God,
Is that the one?
fucking thing?
I remember you got
Bought
that car. So that was a
listen.
10
Got
grand
a
tip.
brand new one. No, it-
It was more than that.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
That
I'm
was
saying
like an
that tip
oil
was a
change on that
catalyst.
car, but yeah, 100%.
Tip was a catalyst to that car, is what I'm saying.
100%.
And you didn't like the deal. You didn't like to do it. It was a bad deal. You didn't like the car.
I mean, I loved the car, but
It was
a
great.
Prius that was older than me rear-ended me and totaled it. And yeah, my insurance, they didn't have anybody proficient enough in exotics to even assess the damages. So it sat in Central Shores parking lot for 7 months.
Bro, I was like, "Oh, Megan's at work. Never mind.
No.
Never mind."
So you lost the car.
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
100%.
So you think that was a little bit of karma for taking this dude's money?
Listen, he gave it to me. I don't know what to tell you. I tried to tell him not. No, that's not fucking karma.
She didn't deserve that.
No.
That was nice.
I
So
mean,
what-
yeah.
What about you? What is one of your bigger tips? What would you have going on?
Singular tips in a night. Probably 1,500.
From one guy? Mm-hmm. And that's just because of my eyebrow, eyelashes, batting, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
this is why we get along so great, is because we're so similar in the way of we don't play it up like that with guys.
You're
to get
direct.
the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to do, we're
Like, bro, I'm here to work.
Oh,
like,
you guys
they
are vicious.
eat that shit
but I will
up.
very much wear pasties and a thong behind the bar and be like, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
You've
Why-
lost
It's
your
here. But
Why in a world would you ever think you could talk to me?
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got pasties on. Don't you notice?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they say fuck me,
Italian, I
but
can't do all
don't
that.
touch
But
me.
I
like
definitely.
that.
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah.
I wear pasties 24/7 behind the bar.
Well, and I think that's the funny part. We talked about this because we've only had a couple like bartending episodes on the show, but we try and represent every aspect of the industry because it's all part of it. And since we had a couple conversations about this of women in general, yes, you're dressing a certain way. You in your hoe phase, like you look that way for a reason, but you can still command respect when you're behind the bar. Even that's not an invitation; it's just us doing the job.
Again, I'm an entertainer.
Try me.
Yeah,
I'm entertaining you.
yeah.
Don't ever get it twisted that I'm any more than just entertainment.
That's right.
love
Exactly.
that.
And you stand true to that. I know you for a long time, and I've watched both of you. And like I said, I'm entertained in my own right by watching you with a very respectful way because we become friends after these shows.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, Megan, here's a story. Here's a story I remember about Megan. I can tell you one about you too. But so I remember one time there was literally a fight broke out in front of the bar at venue. The place is packed. It's small. I mean, and there's a couple hundred people in this place, right?
Yeah.
Where there should, there's a lot. There's not that much room, so it's tight. And right in front of the bar, there's a fight, right? You would think that the bartender would be trying to break it up or something. This bitch right here is taking
Over the bar.
taking wads of napkins, bar naps, and just throwing it at him, like making it rain, and just creating more
Entertainment.
chaos and havoc. And it's almost like Roadhouse. I'm like,
100%.
this chick is fucking dope. And that's when I first
10
kind
out
of
of
saw
10.
you for the first time.
Oh my God.
I'm like, who is this?
I love
mean,
it.
she's rallying the troops to keep this shit going.
Oh, yeah.
And in the meantime, while the bouncers are coming in, she's pouring shots with
Like,
the
100%. 100%.
Again, I'm working. Don't bother
yeah,
me.
behind up. Let's go. That's
I use it to
entertainment.
my full advantage.
Where are the bars like this anymore?
They don't have them.
They don't.
All of them.
It's
I mean,
changed. It really
think
has.
about. I actually had this conversation the other day. Even the block, like, the block is known for mayhem. Like,
Yeah.
you go to the block to fuck shit up.
Yeah, including your soul, your
All of it.
integrity,
It's
Calm down.
your morals,
your
all of
morals,
them.
everything. Yeah.
It's just not the OGs are all gone.
Yeah.
It's a different crowd now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a blast. I still enjoy going
When
there.
you walk into the bars, here's my next thing on that right there. When you walk into the bars now, do you find yourself like me where you're looking around like, it's like the old timers are looking back like, you fuckers don't know what's going on.
Oh, 100%.
You don't know what you're doing. Girl, what are
100%.
you doing with a fucking turtleneck on? Are you serious?
How dare you wear
Listen,
clothing?
I used to
know.
rock the fuck out of the
But
turtleneck.
I mean, you're
Well,
fine.
you can, honey.
You're
you
fine.
can. It still shows
You
up.
can wear
It's
whatever
okay.
you
The
want.
turtlenecks are nice on you because you cut them
Yeah,
to
you're
here.
like, your turtleneck's like
It's just
halfway
all
across your
under
boobs.
boob.
You don't know my life.
So, but no, I mean it's amazing to me how the bar scene is changing. Now, if we go out, okay, for instance, the crew, us, we were out in Indianapolis, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Went to a couple places, and,
Lord, here we go.
and not to trash the
Trash.
food part of it all, but if you look at the bars, everyone's it's almost like they're upset it's busy. They're flustered that it's busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just shaking as fast as they can, pouring their thing,
angry.
doing their little,
Yep.
pouring the martinis, handing it to you, and they're almost like, "Come on, what do you need?" There's no personality anymore. There's no excitement. There's no barkeep. I call it the barkeep mentality.
Yeah.
When you would stand there back in the day, and the dude would have his little things up here and have his hands on listening to your problems.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore, right? So
Yeah.
are you afraid of this? I mean, you're not really anymore because you guys are kind of weaning out of the industry. But do you notice what I'm saying?
It's definitely changed. I mean, it used to be an art, but also they come into it like when we started it, anybody can make a rum and coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's your ability to pack a bar, like to fill a bar. I mean, we would stick 3 bartenders behind one bar, and we easily 2 of us could have handled it. But you schedule 3 under the impression that at least every bartender is bringing out at least 30 people minimum
Yeah.
per shift
Yeah.
to make it as busy as
That's the
possible.
goal.
So the goal
And
isn't. Don't
draw.
lose your thought because I want to say something. That is the difference right there. You want to have another one so you can serve more and make more money. Nowadays, they want another one so they can do less and not be sweating. Is that where you're going?
It very much is also like a different mentality. Like back then, if you didn't make your promo post by noon, you didn't have the shift that night. Now
100%.
nobody pushes their shifts. You don't know when anybody's working.
Yeah.
There's
There
very
is-
few.
There
Very
is
few.
no marketing in yourself.
Yeah.
People would know my schedule the entire week
Yep.
on
They
Monday.
would beat me to shift. They'd be
Yeah.
like, sorry, I'm late.
I know
again."
Megan's coming. She's
Like,
going to be
they're
here in
already there.
20 minutes.
Yep.
Like, yeah, no, like what's funny is one thing I remember about you at the block, and this changed my mentality from Hooters to block mentality. You had a burner phone that you would only turn on the weekends, text all of your regulars. That was the number they had.
Night of the week,
Yep.
saved next to their
They would
name.
literally-
my
Because I
God.
knew you were off on Wednesdays
And
because
she
you'd black out on Tuesday nights with
Only
me.
turned it on when she was at work. You didn't have her real phone number.
Oh,
You
So you had the burner. So you had an earner and a burner.
Earlier
Fucking
that day,
brilliant.
I would
That's
send
when I
out a
was like,
mass
oh.
text
That's
to all
brilliant.
of my people that say Tuesday,
Yep.
Tuesday night, Tuesday morning, or
Oh
Monday.
my
night,
God.
Can you-
feelers
That is
out.
so
Could you
smart.
give this, let's back this conversation up. Give a little tip out there. Give this tip.
Yeah.
Tell these upcoming bartenders who don't understand what
You
the
show
fuck's
the
going
fuck
on.
up.
Tell them what to do here because this is classic and maybe you can pass this knowledge on OG.
That was very
You know what I'm
much
saying?
like the moment I was like, oh, this shit's different.
100%.
Like
We
she
in a new
never.
world.
I was like,
So tell me how this works. So you have the phone, you have the burner. Okay, and tell me again how this works.
I would get people to come out. I would promote through social media, all this, all that. I would meet people and I would get their information. I would save their name next to, Tuesday or whatever shift it was.
Yeah.
And then I would know Monday night, I'd go through all my Tuesday names like, hey, how are you doing?
my
Or,
God.
hey,
And
I'm
blast
at the bar
them.
if you want to come. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And so they would text you back or something, some dudes and stuff, but you wouldn't
Or
care
they
because
just
it's
show
on the
up.
burner.
You just say show
So who
up.
cares?
Like there was no communication. You weren't giving them anything else other than
It's
here's
just
the
touch
here's
and base.
the
Hey,
bait.
remember me? You should come see me tomorrow.
So this is a tool. You were using a burner phone as a
As marketing.
But I'll
complete
tell you
marketing
what,
tool.
I
That's
never had a
brilliant.
dead shift ever.
Yeah.
And these people, and I never gave them the wrong impression. Like, yeah, of course, we knew what a lot of them were out for. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But none of them ever got it. So it was like,
Well, it's the
they-
mystique.
That's what kept them
You know what I
coming.
mean?
Yeah, and
That's
the
brilliant.
other
Santa
girls
Claus
would
is coming
come
next
up-
week too, y'all. So I mean, we're all wait. We all think, you know what I
Listen.
mean? It's possible. So there's a
it
chance.
could happen.
Like just
saying
sit
there's
on,
a
sit on
chance.
This is the
Daddy's
year.
lap. It's okay.
This is the year.
So what I'm saying is, what I mean by that is the belief in that is the same belief they may have in a chance with you. So as long as you keep feeding that, they're going to keep biting it, and
Yeah,
that's a
and
great
just
tip.
Casual, I would never like have consistent conversations. It would just
You're
enough to get them.
microdosing your client.
That's
Oh,
exactly what she was
microdosing.
doing.
Yeah,
I
like mushroom
would
coffee in the
microdose.
morning.
Just a little.
Yes.
Yeah, just a little sizzle.
A little bit,
Yeah.
keep them in.
Yep.
Like I like
Your life was a sizzle reel.
Dogs.
I
Yeah.
like it. So, all you people out there listening to this we like to have a takeaway from everything. There's one.
do. That is
There's
a
one.
great
You've learned
takeaway.
something today by the burnt hands perspective, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Or did you have any tricks up your sleeve that you used to do?
Most of mine was just really just being super extra behind the bar. Like
Yeah.
once you got to the bar, you weren't leaving the bar if I was there. Because I'm gonna do
Keep
whatever
you
it takes.
going.
I'm
100%.
twerking behind the bar. I'm dancing on the bar. I'm pouring
Yep.
shots in your
She
mouth.
is too, though.
I don't like. I am gonna make sure that you're gonna go somewhere else, but then you're gonna be pissed off and come back.
because you're gonna be
100%.
bored.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like, well, damn, I don't know why I came over here. This is stupid.
Yeah.
That's why we were such a gnarly team.
Yeah.
Because I would draw them in, and then Shelby would just
keep
be the
'em.
fucking my
Yeah.
OCD ass. I'm cleaning and shit.
Yeah, she literally
She's
cleans the whole-
working,
I'm-
I'm a
I'm-
psycho. I gotta
At this
clean
point, when
everything.
we're working together, we're considered OGs at the point where we're
You know
working
your
together.
role, too.
So we really got away with murder for real.
Yeah.
And that's literally what would happen. There would be nights where I might not pour more than about 10 drinks, to be honest with you.
Right.
But you know what?
I'm pouring 600 of them.
She's cleaning, and
cleaning.
we're getting
Yeah.
hundreds.
I would be like, Shelby, just
Hundreds.
Stack them, slab them.
Hundreds.
You stack them, you slab them.
She'd
Let's
literally
go.
be like, hey,
Just go to work.
we used to have a couple regulars. Go get so-and-so to buy 1942 tonight. All right, bet. I got him tonight.
100%.
Whatever.
See, she'll go get on the floor and like, coming from, we both waitress and stuff like that before. So we're used to all that. But when it gets slammed, I'm too violent to be on the floor.
Yeah, she's not
you,
loud.
You
We
flirt
put her.
with that lower back area. I'm throwing
you're-
When they
hands.
touch you, and, hey girl.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, hun.
She looks over, somebody's in the walls of Jericho.
How many?
Yeah.
How many huns?
It's bad.
How many of?
So-
How many huns are you? How are you? How many? What word am I trying to say?
I'm a love and a babe.
You're a love and a babe. So how many
100%.
huns do you have out in the world, according to them?
Oh
a
my
million.
God, 7,000.
Hey hun. Hey hun.
Just in Hampton Roads.
That's crazy.
like-
So here's a story about you now. I told you my little remembrance of her.
Okay, now we need to hear
Hers is
Shelby's
good too.
story.
No, hers is
Okay.
good. So it's right along lines of what we're saying. So I'm going
Yeah,
to tell
I
you
know
how
what's coming.
true
I'm so
the
scared.
story that they're telling, and they're not bullshitting here.
Yeah.
So the first time I met her, I was up in my little VIP booth that John hooks us up with every time we go, and I had one of my guys with me that he's always, he's not around anymore for reasons. Can't hang with the dogs. Get the fuck out. However, he would not. He would just kind of be one of them guys that would just sucking around on leeching type of thing. Just never contributed such stuff like that. So she was coming up, and we were having fun conversation, banter back and forth. You probably don't remember this. This was a while ago, and you were
Probably drunk. too.
it probably yes. Matter of fact, you were.
Yeah, I know. That's
So
what I said. I was probably
and
drunk.
so was I. It was a good time. Anyway, that's where we started. And then this guy kept coming up. I'll take a water. I'll take a Bud Light. And then he's getting ready to go. And then she goes up to him and asks if he wants anything else, not knowing he's getting ready to go. And he said something. I don't know what he said to you because all I heard was you say, "I've came up here 100 fucking times, and now you want something. I'm not here to waste my time. You're wasting my time." And I said, "You fucking suck." That's what I told the dude, and I loved it. From that point on, I was on it because you're absolutely right. She just looks right at him and says,
Wasted my fucking
"You
time.
wasted my time all fucking night, and I'm not wasting my time for you anymore."
I mean,
You know what I mean? And it's fucking
100%
amazing.
Shelby.
So that's the way it's supposed to be, really, when you're in that atmosphere. You know, I wish you would have said that an hour before because it would have got him out of my hair quicker.
Yeah, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know, but also you do get
That's
to the
why
point
got
where
the
you're
next
like,
shower. He was with you.
Yeah.
that's literally the only
Yeah.
reason. Like, that might have been the first time we met, but also I know who you were. You're in a VIP booth that John gave you. Like, I know
Not to
the
push
situation.
too
Yeah.
far, yeah. But it just
it
it
would
also
actually
that
make
brings me
sense.
to you have to have owners who support you.
Yeah, very much so.
So we've run into those issues in the
Right.
past of owners that I had owners that didn't support me, and it was, I mean,
It's a brutal time.
It's a very brutal time because it was someone who physically assaulted me, and then I kicked the shit out of them, and then they were allowed back in because they had money. So it was like a bad time. So when you have owners that support you and also know your worth, because that's very important, you can act a certain way. So we all get that way, you know, at some point. But if you have owners that back you, then you have the power to really run the
you just
room
lay
and do
because
what you need
they
to
trust
do.
your judgment. They know that you're not there to start shit.
No.
They know you're there to actually make your money.
Yeah.
I actually had a situation like that at Hooters, which is a corporate environment that I punched a guy because he the whole night flirting with me. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But then was like, hey, can I touch your butt? I said, absolutely not,
Jesus.
sir. You don't have the money for that. So I kept moving, whatever. They're getting ready to leave. He was like, well, can I at least give you a side hug? I was like, I'll take a side hug. That's fine. You know, the Hooters still.
a bro
Yeah,
hug.
side
Yeah.
hug.
I literally felt his hand slip.
Jesus.
And he hit the center of my back. I turned around, what? In the middle of the restaurant.
Good.
My GM at the
Don't
time,
even let me on.
I love him to death. My GM at the time saw it on the camera sitting in the office and
Oh my God.
came out, was like, what just happened? I was like, he touched my butt. He said, oh, okay, cool, kick him out. I said, all right, cool.
Yeah. See, that's the, like, and there,
That's-
back, I mean, because again, I'm going back further, like 10 years prior, there wasn't that. There wasn't like any, you know, I mean, again, when I started at the Edge, I wasn't allowed to bartend because females weren't allowed behind the bar. So, like, it's come a long way. But yeah, the owners that are supportive, I mean, I know you do that, like, for your staff and stuff.
There's,
and
yes, I'm very supportive, especially when I hear about it. Sometimes it sucks because I don't hear about
you
a
don't
lot
know
of
the
things
whole
until
story.
it's after.
Yeah.
So 90% of the times, especially now, I don't hear about issues until the person's already gone.
Yeah.
Or it's already happened, or it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing I can really do. But there's been times, especially in downtown Norfolk on my Grammar Street location, when I was there every night, and Norfolk was a different spot back then. It was just a lot of transient people coming in and out drinking. It was a show down there. It was like almost like a mini New Orleans at some point in time. So there was a time where one of my great bartenders was disrespected fully, and they wrote she was a whore on her tip spot and all this stuff. And
Classic.
yeah. So I got pissed off at this, and I met the guy outside, luckily, and I took the slip with him, and she was upset about it. And this woman here is really hard to shake.
Yeah.
She's like us. She's one of us. She should be sitting here
100%.
right now. You know what I mean?
really should.
She's a great woman, and she's a hard worker, and she's still in the industry today.
Yep.
You know, and I went outside and I took the thing, and the guy was drunk, and I handed him the thing, and I said, "What the hell is this? You come in my place and disrespect people like this?" And he snatched it out of my hand. And as soon as he snatched it out of my hand, he crumbled like this and threw it back at my chest. And I just open hand slapped him across the face. And he cowered right down. And his friends literally ran
Just didn't-
as if someone shot a gun.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed the guy and I brought him back inside and I said, "Say something to her right now."
Yeah.
"I'm sorry." And then he did the apology. I will not tolerate it. And I'll probably, maybe not so much now, but back then I'll catch a case over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's not, especially here in this place, obviously.
That's
Well,
not
We do
fine.
get some rude people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
no,
We
it's-
get some rude,
it happens,
we get some
yeah.
rude mugs in here.
It doesn't. I mean, it's never going to change. But before we wrap up, there's two things I want to touch on with the bar side, the misconception, because last time we had to ask about pet peeves, which was fun, and then money. So, so there's a couple. There's my child. So there's two things. So biggest pet peeve of what someone does or says to you during a shift.
Mine would have to be if you snap or clap your hands at me.
Yeah.
That's
I
a huge
see
one.
you.
That's
It's
pretty
always,
popular.
yeah, I
you.
love hearing it because I want
Like,
to see how
it's
different
literally
it is.
100%. Like, I might not have addressed you completely, but I've looked at you and we've made eye contact.
Yeah.
I
Hold
know
up.
you're there and I know what order you came to the bar.
Yeah.
Do not lean over the bar and snap at me.
Yeah.
What do they think that's going to do?
I don't know.
They don't even know.
Do they
But
think
it-
you're just
they
going to?
still do it, though.
We need to make a short where someone's doing it and someone snaps and we just throw everything down and run over.
Listen,
Oh my
Let's
God,
do
I'm
it.
That's
here,
exactly
I'm
what
here.
they
Yeah.
said. That's
It's
what they
okay.
said.
All right, Megan, what's yours? Biggest pet peeve
Ugh.
Made my
or
palms sweat.
misconception? like-
Yeah, man. There's so many. I think it's pisses me off when people see like I'm bougie, like with what I wear, like labels and stuff like that, what I drive, all that. So if people think that anything with having to do with the money that I have has anything to do with a man, like, you know what I mean? Like
that
who
you
got
didn't
me
earn
that, or my parents' money, anything like that.
Okay.
So
You work your ass off.
Yeah.
You work.
Now let's shift to the money.
You take
I'm like the only thing you don't do is sleep.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah,
The
not
money
important.
part, I don't think people understand how much money there is to be made in the industry. So,
Oh yeah.
what is like when you're looking at compared to other industries, and since you guys are out of it now, how much you made bartending, peak years, and what that allowed you to do?
I always like to say this. So, like, back at Hooters, and I'm saying this is Hooters. This is not high volume bar. This is a restaurant. I made $1,500 on a night at Hooters. Like, I was able to save my own money in 2 years to buy a house on my own. Just the freedom that you have of being able to work 4 or 5 hours and make $2,000.
100%.
Yeah, that doesn't happen every night, but you're gonna make at least.
But on the average, it kind of does.
It kind of does.
If you take that yearly average, break it down, you're making more money than, or as much money as
Good
some
I mean, you're
well
making,
qualified.
you're making $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Easy.
And that's
Working
why I
4
would
or 5
prep
hours a
so
night.
hard for my shifts.
4 or 5 hours a night.
That's it.
Partying the rest.
Just absolute mayhem the rest of the time.
Now, could you imagine going back in time and being able to have the smarts you do now and
To
then
invest even
take the
more?
rest of them hours that you weren't there and do it again?
I think about it all the time. About
do
the
too.
money I just blew just throwing money at other bartenders.
See, I was good about. I invested. I bought real estate. You know what I mean? I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely threw. Yeah, and I mean, we'd be trading the same $100.
We
bill
joked
around
about that. It was the
The
same
same people.
$100
You
bill.
just went around
that
to your
would
friends.
not
$100 bill.
reciprocate. You know, or they would come in and reciprocate, but it wasn't until
That
later
wasn't
on
money
in the
made.
game.
That was just
Yeah.
keeping it
Now,
alive.
if you see me out, it's calculated. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm.
You're on a mission.
I'm there for a reason. I'm there to see somebody specific.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
I used to. I can tell you one thing with my time when I was doing it back in the day. I could tell you what every print of bill smells like. You know what I mean? I'd give all that up for a friggin' for having more knowledge, but I wouldn't be able to go be where I am now with all that nonsense. So.
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing time. Having you guys on right now is great because it brings back nostalgia, but yet you're still in the business. But it's good to talk to people that we kind of watch grow and we work together growing because it shows people out there, especially those who are just watching. Or, you know, it shows a lot of people are watching this typically because of the nostalgia factor. People watching this aren't people just getting into the bar scene now and they're trying to get something out of this. We already know that they know everything. They're not going to learn anything from us because they know all of it. We already know that. So we're not expecting them to be the ones watching.
Yeah.
However, if they did, they know how to get a burner now.
That is like literally one of the best marketing tips I have
great.
heard about
I'm
behind the
not
bar.
kidding
I
you.
always looked at it like my shift started the night before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
work.
That's-
I didn't
Like,
just
I
go in at
love that.
9.
Hence
I
why
put
you
the
have a
work in.
Maserati, dude.
100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
Literally,
no guy.
exactly. No.
It's
If
no
I'm gonna
guy.
be there
It's a
that
bunch of guys
certain
that you
amount of
work for.
time,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No man gave that like you
it's
earned
planning.
it.
100%.
It's
I'm
but
not nice enough to, you know, have anybody else fund.
And that's your gift.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to get that in there. But I love it when there are women in the industry that, again, the first thing when someone sees you is a misconception of you just look like a dumb bimbo.
Yep.
And I can take you for a ride. And you're like,
You thought that.
we gonna flip that script real quick.
So before we leave, if you have one thing to say to anybody in this industry, let's say they're coming in. Let's do that. Let's go to the people who may be watching who are coming into this industry. What do you have any advice for them?
My big thing is, for one, you got to know your basic recipes, obviously. Somebody comes in and asks for a liquid marijuana, you got to make it. But going back to just be entertaining, be fun, enjoy what you're doing. You're going to make more money enjoying what you're doing and maybe not knowing how to make a liquid marijuana than
Pretend like you know.
only making those. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you got to bring that back. Like, you can't just stand there and make drinks.
So I say this to my people too. Anybody can get the same bottle of wine anywhere. Why the hell do they want to buy it here?
Exactly.
Why are they going to come back and get it here
Exactly.
instead of there?
Yep.
What about you? What's your tip?
I would say especially for women coming up, do not sleep around. You know what I mean? Be
Facts.
untouchable. That was my thing.
Unobtainable always
Yes.
sells.
Yes.
My cocktail waitresses that I would train under me, or other bartenders coming on, girls being like, how'd you get your following? How do people respect you? And, you know, your shifts are always busy and all these guys are all over you and all this
You're
stuff.
selling
like,
fantasy.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's because none of them have touched me. They can't name anyone who's touched me. You know, I've been in long relationships. Like, it's not, you know, girls think they come into the industry and to get popular, they just toss it out there, you know?
That's not at all.
And I'm over here like Bible open, legs closed, like chill out, bro. Like, you know
Hold
what I
on,
mean?
hold on. Say
Like,
that again. Say that again.
Bible open, legs closed.
Bottle open, legs
They
closed.
just come
Bible-
out here
Bible
and they're just
open.
throwing it around. And I'm like, what are you
You
doing?
said bottle or
don't-
Bible?
Bible.
Oh, you
Bible,
said, I
yeah.
thought you said bottle open,
I mean,
legs
that
closed.
even
I mean,
yes.
that works
That
too.
works too, yeah.
Say
Even
Bible
yes.
or Bible. I
Yeah.
heard the wrong
Whatever
thing. It's
works for
okay.
you.
They both worked. That's why I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, did I hear that wrong? Because they both worked.
I probably changed
I
it
get-
up, honestly. I
It's
don't
those
even
reels.
know.
What do you hear when they say something? I totally heard bottle. So
I
that's
mean,
great.
it does work though. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. So this has been awesome. Thank you guys for your time. I know you got a million things going
I
on.
know.
Totally proud of where you're going, and I see it happening. I'm glad to be sitting here with you because we don't sit with slouches. We don't do it. We don't invite slouches on our show. You got to you have to work your way up onto this platform. And even though as us starting this together,
Yeah.
we're still starting with the highest standard.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
no.
just the tips you just gave were amazing. You started out with the basics of recipes, which is amazing, and you started with the total opposite of what everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to believe, and that's don't sleep around, where everyone thinks that's how you have to do it.
that's
Yeah.
not.
Wrong. You're listening
No.
to two professionals
Treat
right
it
here.
as a business.
I can tell you they're successful as fuck.
Yeah.
They are bougie and they deserve it. I'm bougie. She's bougie. We all deserve it. And it's something that's how we succeed. Typically, the people in this industry who aren't are in it for a short period of time.
Yep.
And then they're at the shipyard or they're working for the city or they're doing something totally different.
Totally agree.
But in order to succeed, you have to sell bouge. And we have to be bougie to understand how to sell it. So kudos to you. Thanks for coming.
Well, we
Thank you,
drank all
guys.
of our drinks.
Drink
Yeah,
all
we
your
did.
beers.
Cheers.
Martini's down.
To
Okay.
badass bougie bar
Solid.
bitches.
All day
Cheers.
long. Bibles open, legs closed. Never trust them hoes. Ciao for now.
Oh.